Lovely to see you all. Spoilt for choice, Miranda. Now, obviously, I've met you guys before, but are you still governor? Are you Mr. Schwarzenegger? Are you Arnold? How should we...
Well, it's your show, so you can call me anything you want.
No. You're my guest. Arnie?
You can call me Arnold.
I like Arnie.
You can call me Schwartzy.
Schwartzy?
You can call me Governator. You call it.
I'll call you Arnie then.
Okay.
Call you Arnie. Why not? Why not?
Right.
And now I hear you're a bit. Is it a cold you've got?
Yeah, by the time this show is over, you will have more coughs than in any of your shows, I can guarantee you. And I don't want to destroy a show or ruin it. Or if you tell a joke, or if you tell a joke, okay? I don't want to ruin your jokes. Or anything like that.
We might go home with an Arnold Schwarzenegger cough.
Yes.
Yeah. Lovely.
I will have caught something off Arnie.
Now, are you all familiar with each other's oeuvres? Have you all seen each other's work?
Well, I am very familiar with Miranda's oeuvre, and I'm less familiar with Arnold's, but...
I'm very familiar with the potential twins to co-star.
You'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Does he remind you of Danny DeVito?
Well, something about him. I'm not sure what it is. There are similarities. I do see them.
Even though much taller than Danny. Danny is 4'9",
Gosh,
and
yeah.
you 4'9.5", right?
5'1.5".
5'1.5", I'm sorry.
Yeah. Back off, Arnie. Yeah.
It's very nice.
Now, clearly, you look at the couch, there are physical differences between everybody on the couch. But I suppose the most striking thing is that, Arnie, that you built your body. Do you know what I mean? Most people are as they're born, but you decided, right, I'm going to look very different. How old are you when you decided, right, I'm going to build my body?
I was 15 years old, and I saw a cover, a magazine called Muscle and Fitness, and on the cover was Reg Park, a British bodybuilding champion who won the Mr. Universe competition 3 times, and I got really inspired by his story, that how he trained 5-6 hours a day, became Mr. Universe, and then got to be the star of Hercules movies. And so I wanted to have exactly the same career. So I started training 5-6 hours a day and became a fanatic about it.
And apparently at some point, your mother, when you were a teenager, you had all these posters on your wall and everything, that your mother got a bit worried about you.
Well, that's true. For inspiration, I put on my bedroom wall all those champions, boxers, Muhammad Ali, Sonny Liston, weightlifters, powerlifters, strongmen, bodybuilding champions, Reg Park. And so I showed off to my mother. I said, look how I decorated my wall here. And she looked at that and she started crying. And she was very concerned about that.
Yes.
That I love oiled up men. And so there was a tremendous concern there.
And Arnie's books on bodybuilding, they're still the go-to books, aren't they? It's not too late, Ronnie. If you want to learn, it's all in there.
Oh, my God.
It's all in there. Have that. It's very heavy. I want you.
You're right. It's very heavy.
Acting.
It is very
you're
heavy.
acting.
And there's this one. This is Arnold's Bodybuilding for Men. Now, I've been to the gym a bit, and I just wondered if you would explain what muscle is he exercising in this pose?
He's exercising the obliques, the side muscles.
Question answered. Thank you very much.
What did you think?
I didn't know. That's what I was asking. I can't think of another actor who has got so many catchphrases. All your movies seem to come with a catchphrase. And in the book, it's really interesting. You explain how one of the most famous, the I'll be back, nearly didn't happen.
Well, I somehow had a problem when I tried to say, I'll be back.
Right.
The I'll sounded weird to me. So I said to the director, I said, I think that I would say, I will be back.
Right.
And he says, no, I think that I wrote, I'll be back. I said, but I mean, listen to it. I said, I'll It's kind of like, and the Terminator doesn't talk like that. The Terminator would say, I will be back.
Right.
And he says, look, let's make it simple. I said, I don't tell you how to act, but don't you tell me how to write. I wrote I'll, and that's what you say. You say, I'll be back. And I'm so happy that he insisted on the I'll be back. Because when the movie came out, you never know when you do the scene that is going to be a famous line or that it will be repeated over and over. So I remember when the movie came out, someone stopped me in New York and said, Arnold, say the line. Say the line. I said, what line? And he says, the line from the movie from Terminator. It says, the I'll be back line. I said, I'll be back. He said, no. Say it the way you said it. And I said, I'll be back. So it's one of those things,
And is it endless? Do people constantly come up and ask you to say?
People come up and say the line, I lied. Say the line, fuck you, asshole. Say the line, so you continuously say it. And, now I have a lot of those lines that are now some of the most quoted lines, It's terrific, it's an honor, but you never know ahead of time.
So you can't force it? Like in the movies you're doing now, do you kind of look and I think this will be the one?
You think, and sometimes you're wrong. No one repeats it. And then other times there's a line in there that you never even thought about. I remember there was, in Predator, I think it was, I ran by a guy, we were on an attack on a village occupied by a bunch of communist soldiers, and they were trying to kill us and we were trying to kill them. And I ran by one, and all of a sudden I heard, about to kill me. He was reloading the gun, and I just heard the click, and I pulled out my knife and stick him in the chest, pin him to the pole. The knife went right through him, and I said to him, stick around. And then I ran off. I made up that line right then and there. It was not even written in the script. So sure enough, that was like everyone asked me after that movie, say the line, stick around.
Stick around.
So this is how the things happen.
Listen, Arnie, obviously you've had this extraordinary career, so what would be more natural than there is a museum of you? Now, where is the Arnold Schwarzenegger Museum?
It's the house I grew up in Thal, Thal. Thal, which is a little bit outside of Graz, the second largest city in Austria. And they turned this house into a museum, which is wonderful. All the original weight equipment that was built for me and welded for me, and things that we got in some scrap metal, and made our own dumbbells and barbells and cable machines and so on.
I think we've got a picture. We've got a picture of the outside. Now, you say family home, it looks like Downton Abbey. I mean,
It's like the Sound of Music house.
actually does look a bit like Sound of Music. So that's the outside. Then inside...
So we lived upstairs and downstairs. So this is actually the bedroom.
Is that your real bedroom?
Bed. Exactly. This is the real bedroom. And with the photographs, not exactly the photographs we had there, but the idea was that the photographs above the bed.
Like, that is crazy to think, like when you were a teenager lying in that bed, to think, one day this will be part of a museum. A museum to me. Well, obviously, having you here tonight is an historic event, worthy of inclusion in the museum. So the actual curator of the museum in Thal,
yes.
Thal is here, Herr Urdel. Herr Urdel, guten Abend. So do you know each other?
Yes, of course. Servus, wie geht's?
Servus.
It's really funny because, yes, we went to school together.
Really?
And he... and the funny thing...
Different lives, different lives. How many people go to the museum? How many people see the museum?
Viele Leute besuchen das Museum.
Ja, wir haben schon 30.000 Besucher gehabt in einem Jahr.
Within 1 year, we've had 30,000 visitors.
Wow. Have you been?
I've been several times, yes.
Ja.
Oh, yeah.
You've been 30,000 times?
But also, the people who see you there must be kind of like, yes, of course he's here, yes.
It's wonderful because every time I do go there, they serve Wiener Schnitzel and Apfelstrudel, which is my favorite food that I like from Austria. So they always do a very good job in organizing my kind of like a little welcome party whenever I do go out there and visit.
And because this is such a special evening, obviously you'd want to include it in your museum. Yes.
Ja,
Is
in
there...
diesem Museum sind den Arnold seine ganzen Karrieren untergebracht. Von Kindheit und Jugend, Bodybuilding, Filmschauspieler und Gouverneur.
Thank you very much.
Da ist alles drin.
And is there any little thing we could give Herr Urdel that he could put into the museum?
Ronnie.
We'll pack you up. I'll phone Anne and let you know you're going to be late. Baby, if you finish your tea, would you like the cup?
Möchten Sie denn die Tasse haben? Ja, das müssen Sie.
Thank you, Herr Urdel. Very good. Well done. Oh, that's a good-looking couch right there. It really is.
Do you think your clothes would have fit me?
No.
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have been pretty in either
no.
respect. So you're very welcome. Welcome all. Welcome first-timers, returnees. And for people, you know, in the audience, you might have known that Arnold Schwarzenegger was in town because you've been out and about, haven't you?
That's right.
But on a Boris bike. Now, people must have been going nuts when they saw Arnold Schwarzenegger on a Boris bike.
They did. It was a lot of fun.
But
It was to dodge between the cars and to go out there and see all the wonderful historic sites and all this. It was really great, and at the same time, I get a lot of fitness, right?
of course, exercise.
Yes.
Exercise is paramount.
That's
yes.
right, absolutely.
I like Twitter. Twitter went a bit crazy. This is just one of the many, many tweets. On the bus to work, I genuinely just nearly ran over a Schwarzenegger riding a Boris bike. No helmet, I'll be back. But but I like this. You are such a kind of marketing machine. Arnold immediately tweeted back this. Don't worry, I would have been fine. Living tissue over a metal skeleton. It's as if there's a new Terminator film coming out. It's crazy.
How did you guess?
I know, it's weird that. It's weird. Arnold, you must have had that when you started out. I mean, because for, like, whatever, a model acting, like, for a bodybuilder to go into acting, and also because you didn't speak English particularly well. I mean, there was a lot against
Still
you.
don't.
You speak beautifully. But there was a lot against
No,
you.
it was, of course, it's always a struggle to get in. But I mean, I was very fortunate because of bodybuilding. I was told, you know, I would never be able to get into being a leading man because my body was too big, you know, because of my accent and because no one would be able to pronounce my name and all this. But the fact was that because of bodybuilding, I got in to do Conan the Barbarian. And then Conan the Destroyer, and that was what really got my career going. So I was very fortunate that I was different than everyone else. And then when we did Terminator, the first Terminator, from then on, my career took off, and I was offered all of the action movies. But in the beginning, it was a real struggle, because you always hear from everybody, it's impossible, you will never be able to do that, no, no, no. And you listen, you have to really discipline yourself to not listen to the naysayers and to just have your vision and your goal and your dream and you chase that, end of story, you know, so that's what you have to do.
But isn't there a sweet story about you, I think you were in a restaurant and you were speaking English to your friend. Do you know this story? Where they...
You mean I was ordering certain foods?
Yes, I think it was an Austrian restaurant.
I know. It was a Hungarian restaurant.
Hungarian restaurant.
A Hungarian restaurant, and we ate cabbage, and somehow I did not know how to pronounce it. I said, could I have more of your garbage? And the owner stopped and he says, what did you call my food? I said, more of your garbage. No, he means cabbage. And then he says, oh, okay. And then, so yeah, I made many mistakes. Trust me.
Now, you mentioned Conan there, and here you are back in Conan days. And I know you want to do something. Is this something you do for social media? You do it a lot?
A little Snapchat or
Yeah, the little thing
Yeah.
where we.
Yeah, why
okay.
not?
So the idea is you film it. So
Okay.
yeah, when you hit the thing.
Yeah.
But what do we have to do?
I'm gonna do a shot of myself, and
Okay.
then I go from person to person.
And we each say a
And then,
catchphrase.
exactly, whatever you want to say.
Okay.
Catchphrase, yeah, that's a
Do
good
you
idea.
want a Bags of catchphrase? What's your favorite one?
I'm gonna say, I'll be back.
Okay, you do all of that. They're all annoyed now that I was going to do that one.
If you do it, I say another one.
Do you have one in your head?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have one in your head?
Yeah.
What if someone says it already? Will you have another one in your head?
No.
Okay. Have a plan B.
Plan.
Can I go second?
That's up to him. That's up to him.
All right, ready?
Okay.
We're on the Graham Norton show, and I have some friends here.
Oh no.
Quick, I'll be back.
Hasta la vista, baby.
There is no bathroom.
Who's your daddy now? And what does he do?
I'm old, not obsolete.
I'll be back.
Very good. Thank you very much. Full out Terminator. It's like leather jacket, yeah.
Well, I also put my face on the front here.
I know, that's subtle.
Because you never can get enough of me.
No, I know. If only there was more Arnie, but now there is.
Well, that's it, exactly, yeah.
And Linda, what's it like? Is it nice kind of palling around the world with Arnold again?
Well, yeah. I love Arnold. We're good buds.
Because you kind of built a life away from Hollywood to the point where, like, I think I read in an interview you were saying your neighbors before this movie weren't particularly aware that you were a film star.
Righto. It's the way I want to live. I live in New Orleans, so it's not about what you do or what you have. It's about who you are. And that's the life that I wanted for myself.
So are the neighbors a bit freaked out that now, oh, she's that woman in that
I hope
film?
not.
Okay.
Because I'm going to have to move again. You know?
Because you are the opposite. You've embraced Hollywood.
I love people. I just, you know, I just have such joy getting on a set and working. I'm a people's person, yes.
Well, not just a people person, because there's something very kind of Hollywood glamour about one of your pets. You like this, Nadia.
Oh.
Look, you've got... is that a fully grown horse?
I wouldn't call it fully grown. It's a miniature pony.
And what's he called?
Whiskey.
Whiskey. This is
Yeah.
your pony.
Oh,
and he,
such a
does he?
beautiful
Did you just
photo.
bring him into the house for a photo shoot, or does he live in the house?
No, she comes into the house anytime
And goes.
because she loves to eat the dog's food. And as a matter of fact, she would eat anything.
But does she
candies.
sleep in the house?
No, she doesn't sleep in the house. No,
Okay.
she has a stall.
Okay.
But I mean, she just walks through the house like this is part of the outside.
Well, you posted a gorgeous video. This is you and Whiskey frolicking in your garden, and the music. You put this music on. Here we go.
Should have been a cowboy.
Oh, adorable. We love Whiskey. Sorry. And now you're back together again, and Arnie, you posted some throwback pictures of you, comparing you then and there. There you are, and here you are.
Aww.
Oh, adorable. Because that first movie, we kind of forget that before Terminator, you were just seen as kind of the body. You were that guy. So Terminator was kind of the start of your career as this huge action star.
Yeah, because before then I did Conan the Barbarian. And so that was, you know, you relied heavily.
Well, I've watched it many
But
times.
so the fear that I had was, am I going to be stuck in those type of movies, Hercules movies and muscle movies, or can I cross over and become an action star? And Terminator that's why I feel really kind of very passionate about the project and about the franchise, because it really helped me kind of break out of that.
Because when you were approached, Linda, you weren't so sure, because you were known as kind of the Austrian Oak at that stage.
Yeah,
weren't
that's
you?
right, yeah.
You weren't sure you wanted to act with the Austrian Oak.
What, number one?
Yeah, number one.
Yeah, not at all. Only because I was a snotty New York actress, you know. You move from New York, you're training with, you know, Lee Strasberg, and, you know, you can't go to LA, it'll ruin you. You can't do LA movies, they suck. I mean, New York is tough. So here's Arnold starring in this film, and my people were very excited, and I was like, I don't know. I'm going to see for myself. But I actually went to set to see him.
You never told me that story.
I know. But I told everybody else.
So you were hesitating working with me?
I was.
Oh, you believe that?
But no, but history is a great thing. History is a lovely thing. But it's quite a complicated thing because you were married to James Cameron. So when the three of you got back together again, was it the same as then, or was it more difficult? Was it less difficult? What was it like?
Like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it can be more difficult than in the first movie. It was already very difficult then.
Yeah.
But the first movie, let's not forget, was a small movie. Was a small budget movie. It was kind of an independent movie with $6.5 million. We had to go out and do certain shots in Hollywood without the permits. We didn't even have permits. I remember one time I got out of the car and he says, go across this street here on Sunset and go over to this car and punch the window in the front. I need that shot.
And we didn't even own that car. This was like a random car.
So I walked across the street, you know, kind of like Terminator-esque, like, and then boom, 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 and then I looked around, boom, punched through the window, you know, and reached inside, and
and then the cops came.
Exactly. That's the way we shot the first movie. It was like $6.5 million, and so the second one was then over $100 million.
Yeah.
So it really kind of elevated. But you know what is the funny thing about the Terminator is because before when I wanted to become a leading man in Hollywood, I said always, you know, I want to become a leading man, and they said, like, forget about it, Arnold. I mean, we like you when you open up a health food store or something like that, but you can never become a leading man because you have an accent. And then someone else would say, you have too big of a body. It would never work. And so with Terminator was one of those movies where Jim Cameron, during the promotion tour, said, if Schwarzenegger wouldn't have had those muscles, and if Schwarzenegger wouldn't have had this accent and talk like a machine, it wouldn't have worked. So I said to myself, yes, finally I made this liability an asset, you know.
Arnold, you were kind of part of that world. He was a fan of yours.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Jamie Wyeth, who is a famous painter in America, painted me at that time at Warhol's studio. And then Warhol was there, you know, pretty much every day. And then he took Polaroid shots.
I think we've got some of the Polaroid. There's one of the Polaroids.
He started painting me also. Yeah. That's one of them. But there's one with flexing the muscles, and he liked that one. And it was really all kinds of weird stuff that was going on there. One day I walked in, then Jamie Wyeth was painting me, and I was holding this pose. And the next thing I know is there was this big table, and there was like around 10, 12 naked men coming into the room, and then they were lying on top of the table and on top of each other, and then Andy would rearrange it and all this stuff. And then he would take a shot with a certain lighting. He would take a photograph, a Polaroid, and then he would come to me and he would say, he says, look at this. He says, if you cut this off and you cut this off, it looks like landscapes. I'm going to call it the landscapes. And that's exactly the painting that he did. He just of the asses, kind of like of the man's asses, which is, you know, when you went really close, you couldn't really tell really what it was, you know, and he didn't paint it that. So he was very creative. He was a genius in the way he went about his art. And at that time, it was not as much appreciated, but I think that when he passed away, people realized of what kind of a great artist he was. And now, of course, his art is selling for $60, $80 million at auctions and $100 million.
So you're okay.
Yeah. Drinks on Debbie. Linda, you had that really specific thing growing up. You were a twin.
I was.
And now, we've had male twins on the show talking about how they'd kind of mess around with girlfriends and da-da-da-da. And I'm delighted to know that female twins do the same thing to boys.
Yeah. Yes, we played games and kept it interesting as much as possible. You know, had boyfriends that could only tell us apart by our jewelry, so we'd slip into the bathroom.
My mind wanders.
And we would slip into the bathroom, trade jewelry, come out and visit with our other boyfriend. Each
Because
other's
Arnie,
boyfriends.
did you meet Leslie? Did you get confused with Leslie?
Just once.
I did never know. As a matter of fact, her sister
Leslie.
was on a set.
Our set.
Our set, okay. Yeah. And we did a scene together because there was a scene where she actually lifted out a cylinder out of my head, and which was kind of the energizer. And it was a scene that was supposed to be in a mirror. And so the sister played the other woman, and they looked absolutely identical. It was like so real that it was actually like it looked like a mirror image.
Yeah.
And they had to kind of coordinate how they make the moves and all that stuff. So it looks like a mirror image. It was like really amazing of having a sister that looks exactly like you.
Right. Yeah. But Arnold didn't know she was on board until, you know, we were in the trailer and he was just kind of up behind her, kind of close, and then he looked over and saw me. That's my sister.
You don't know that.
I was not so lucky because my twin brother, Danny DeVito.
We haven't talked about politics tonight, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I wondered, do you still consider yourself a politician, or are you more of a kind of an activist or an advocate now?
Well, no, actually, I hate politics. I do. I never, even when I was governor, I never considered myself a politician.
All right.
I always considered myself a public servant. And because to me, the most important thing is not to be so tied up with politics, but more with policy. Create policy that helps the people and that makes life easier for the people so they can get jobs, get more money, have health care, and all the kind of things that government is responsible for creating.
Yeah.
And to bring both of the parties together. We have two-party system, the Democrats and Republicans. I was always a Republican, so I want to make sure that I work with the Democrats. I never saw them as the enemy, like they do in politics, you know, where they fight amongst each other and can't get anything done, like it's happening right now. I think in England, it's happening in America. It's happening in a lot of countries. And I think it really doesn't serve the people well. So to me, being a public servant and not a party servant is much more important.
And, yes. For you, Linda, it must have been so weird that this man you'd worked with, your friend, was running for governor. Dare I ask, did you vote for him?
I did, against my... I mean, I was just like, no way, because, of course, I became the first lady of politics just because I was his co-star. So all of a sudden, my political view mattered. And over the course of the few months, I realized that we had to have Arnold, you know, and I'm definitely registered Democrat, but he just had such a vision, and I voted for Arnold. And not out of loyalty. I voted out of, you know, my political consciousness.
And you talk about bringing parties together, and one of the issues that does bring people together is environmental issues. Because, Debbie, I mean, you guys are probably on the same page on environmental issues.
Yes,
yeah?
definitely.
And you recently issued an invitation to Greta Thunberg, is that right?
Yes. First of all, let me just say, this is one of the typical examples that I'm talking about. How can you make the environment a political issue? How can it be like the right is against it and the left is for it? I mean, there is no democratic air or liberal air or conservative air. We all breathe the same air. We all drink the same water. So therefore, how can this be a political issue? We want to have a clean environment. We want to create a clean future for our children and grandchildren. How could this be a political... But the politicians make it a political kind of a subject. As much as they do with healthcare, as much as they do with education, and with all of those subjects. So this is what I hate about politics. You know, they fight over this. So Greta Thunberg is like fantastic because she is a child and she speaks for the children. And the children are the ones that are going to inherit this mess that we are creating. So if we don't straighten out our act, and if we don't get off fossil fuels, and if we don't stop polluting the world and emitting all these greenhouse gases that is killing 7 million people a year right now, and create global warming, if we don't do something about it, it's the children that are going to really suffer the consequences. And this is why her message is so important.